The iPad mini has always been one of the most loved devices in Apple's lineup. People love this little tablet, and with the A17 Pro now powering it, not much has changed in that regard. But that brings up an interesting question. If you already have the iPad mini 6, is it worth the upgrade? And if you've never owned a mini, should you pull the trigger? Well, let's talk about it. So this iPad features the Apple A17 Pro chip. They also increased the starting storage. It starts at 128 gigabytes now, and it shoots all the way up to 512 gigabytes of storage. And you're going to be getting 8 gigabytes of RAM, which that's a pretty good upgrade considering that the starting storage for the iPad mini 6 was 64 gigabytes. And then on top of that, you only got 4 gigabytes of RAM. And the A17 Pro chip, I mean, it's been wonderful to use this device. I've had Canva open, I've been creating carousels, I've been creating all sorts of media kits, I've had Lightroom open, editing photos, taking advantage of that 8.3 inch display since it is bigger than my iPhone, so it's fun to edit on there a little bit more, especially with the compatibility of the Apple Pencil Pro. And on top of that, I've had multiple tabs open, browsing on different browsers at the same time. Like, it is a breeze. It handles pretty much whatever I throw at it, but I can't hold you. I did think that this should have featured an M chip, like maybe the Apple M1 or maybe the M2, especially since this is a 2024 device. Now, the A17 Pro is fine, and my productivity has not slowed down with that chip. This is a lot faster than my iPad mini 6. My iPad mini 6 was stuttering when it came to some programs. Obviously, I'm not editing like 4K video or nothing like that. I save that for my Mac mini and sometimes even my iPad Pro, but still, it would have been nice to have seen an M level chip in here to maybe, future proof it a little bit better, especially since the iPad Air has the M2 and M3 chips already. The iPad Pro is obviously on the M4 with the M5 iPad Pro in the horizon. So it's like maybe an M1 or M2 could have been pretty dope, but obviously casual viewing like YouTube and then also email and stuff like that, it's gonna be a breeze. It's like completely fine. I can't really be mad at it. The new iPad mini also features an 8.3 inch liquid retina LCD display, 1488 by 2266 pixels, and you're gonna get 500 nits brightness. I get it. I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing people say this. I'm not the first content creator to say this. I do think it should have featured an OLED display. That is my personal opinion on this. I would have gladly shelled out some more money for an OLED, an extra $100. Easy, would have paid that. And I mean, it's kind of becoming common now, right? Like, I don't know if I'm wrong to say that. Like, the Switch even has an OLED version. The Steam Deck has an OLED version. Most modern 2024 2025 laptops have OLED variants. It just seems like this should have been a thing. People love to carry this around. It's super portable. It would have been cool to have an OLED display on this 8.3 inch tablet, but I'll say this. That liquid retina LCD display, Apple was always known for making very color accurate displays, and this is no different. I make wallpapers on this. I edit photos like I mentioned earlier. I work on Canva and make thumbnails for my podcast and for other stuff. So it's like, it's fine. Like, you're not gonna be upset at it. It's not like you're getting like a garbage display panel. Like, it's liquid retina, man. It's fine. Like, people used to praise this type of display from Apple. The liquid retinas were all the rave when it came to photographers, videographers, and anybody in between, that if you were a creator, this is what you wanted, right? For a social media companion, for a content creator companion, the display is fine. It's gonna get you through. Like, I have no issues with it. Like I said, I create wallpapers on this, so I'm fine with the color accuracy. It's completely cool with me, but I won't lie to you, and I would be BSing you if I said that I didn't, that I was fine with it not having an OLED, because I'm not. I would have paid more money for it. I do think it's a huge miss on Apple's part, especially since a lot of people are finding out ways to kind of like rig their iPad mini and make it compatible with like backbone accessories and other controllers. So people are now really carrying this on the go and turning it into almost like a PlayStation Portal competitor, or even just like a handheld competitor. So it is obviously something that I feel like people would have preferred a better display. And maybe the 120 hertz, they want to save that for promotion for the pro devices, but throw in 90, man. I feel like Apple hasn't touched that market yet, because there's plenty of budget phones that feature AMOLED displays and they feature 90 hertz. It may not be the 120 hertz that you're getting on other phones, or even the 144 or 165 hertz, but still, man, Apple, put 90 hertz in the iPad mini, put 90 hertz in the base iPhones. Like, come on, man. But again, I can't complain too much because I do use this display quite a bit, and it could just be because I do use this tablet a lot and I don't find myself complaining when I'm using it. Honestly, after 20 minutes, I'm fine with it not being OLED. Like, I just kind of forget about it, but it is what it is. As far as media consumption, watching movies, streaming stuff, YouTube, all of that is completely fine. This display is more than enough for that. The 500 nits brightness, it's gonna be fine indoors. You're completely taken care of, but I would have liked to have seen a brighter display, but that is just me. I don't know what anyone else has to say about that, but at least in my personal opinion, I would have, you know, wanted a brighter display. And I'm pretty sure this is the exact same display in the iPad mini 6. I could be wrong. Y'all can correct me down below, but if it is, then I guess this is just one department that didn't get an upgrade. And again, it is what it is. The main camera on the back features a 12 megapixel f1.8. You can shoot video at 4K up to 24, 25, 30, and 60 FPS. And you can shoot slow motion at 1080p all the way up to 240 FPS. The front camera, the selfie camera, is going to get you 12 megapixels at f2.4 and video capabilities of 1080p all the way up to 60 FPS. I don't know if I'm the only one who doesn't use their iPad cameras. I mean, I would like to think other people don't use them. I don't use them. You're never gonna catch me in the airport or in a park or something like that just waving around the iPad. I'm not that guy. Don't be that guy. But if you were that guy, then 12 megapixels is gonna be fine. I guess you're gonna get 4K, you know, video, so that's cool. But yeah, I do not use this camera like at all. If you're a student and you need to scan documents or take pictures of notes, then the 12 megapixel camera is going to be completely fine for that. So that's a plus. But again, I don't use this, so I don't really have much to say on this. Now, even though this doesn't have an M chip in there, the A17 Pro does let the iPad mini access Apple Intelligence, but I don't use it. Y'all can correct me down below, but I'm pretty sure the speakers are the exact same as the ones in the iPad mini 6. I mean, I personally can't tell the difference between them, but I've always liked the iPad mini speakers. I mean, I've never had an issue with them. They're obviously not going to be at the level of the Airs or the Pros, where those are basically like Bluetooth speakers when you blast them all the way up to full volume. I'll even put up a speaker test right now so y'all can just hear that instead of me talking about it. So the other thing that didn't get upgraded is the battery, and it features again a 5078 milliamp battery. Now, I don't know if this is just because this device is new, but from my testing, it feels like the battery lasts longer on here. I don't know if this is due to the, you know, A17 Pro chip, or if recent iOS updates have helped it compared to when the iPad mini 6 released, because I don't remember the iPad mini 6 having really great battery life. And who knows, maybe it was just my unit, I don't know, but I don't remember like ever praising the battery life on there. But with this one, I mean, I've watched YouTube videos, worked on wallpapers, and just dropped it on my desk, and then I would come back to it and it's like at 70% still, like 3 days later. Like, I don't know if maybe I've just gotten better at knowing how to operate the iPad. Like, I have notifications off, I have all that stuff, so nothing's really waking the screen when it's in standby mode. So maybe that could be the reason why my battery life is so much better. Who knows? That probably is the reason. But yeah, I've just been having a way better time with battery life on this iPad, and I really can't complain about it, even though they really didn't update it. I keep saying it is what it is. Can I still recommend this iPad mini though? And yeah, I can. If you're somebody who just wants to look at their emails and just watch a bunch of YouTube videos, if you're somebody who is a photographer, or maybe you want to design stuff on Canva or anything like that, then I can recommend this iPad to you. It's gonna get the job done. You're gonna have a fun time with it. You're gonna take it to the coffee shop. You're gonna love the fact that it's portable. I mean, it is so small that it doesn't even matter if you have a backpack or not. It can probably fit in a purse or in a tote bag, so you're fine. And I've even gone into reading books now on Kindle, so I've basically turned my iPad into a Kindle. So that is pretty cool. And if you're of that camp and you want like a Kindle, but you also want something that's a tablet as well, then this could be the middle ground for you, honestly. Should it have gotten an OLED display? Yeah. Should it have gotten a battery increase? Yeah. And I guess that's fine because they still increased other areas of this iPad to still make it a good purchase, especially when you can find it on sale. I've seen it at $399, and then you can also get it refurbished. So when you take that into account, this is definitely something I can recommend to anyone who's looking for an iPad. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in as always. This has been my iPad mini review. Comment down below, that way I can see what you guys have to say about the iPad mini. Always open to reading your comments and just hearing what y'all have to say. But anyways, like this video and share with your friends. I will talk to y'all next time.